Hello everybody, how are you? My name is Chef Rob here on Long Island, and hello to everybody out there. Thank you to all the wonderful libraries and patrons that watch all the time. My son Chris is here, who has done every food festival that we have done. Over a year now, Chris, right?
I've done more than you have.
How could you do more than me? Are you doing somebody else's classes too?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you can't do that. So, everybody, we are going to make some delicious dishes today. The first one we are going to work on is the baked ravioli with a spinach artichoke sauce. A lot of people like spinach and artichokes, the flavor, the combination of it. So I decided, let me come up with a dish that can kind of put the whole thing together, bake it, and make a nice fresh breadcrumb topping. So let's start in. I have boiled my ravioli already, so if anybody is out there cooking, just on the side, just boil those raviolis, and about 2 of those 12-ounce packages. Okay, I'm using the cheese flavored one. All right, so I am going to throw this on. I am just going to start adding some of the liquids in here, and then we're just going to reduce it, get it to be a nice cream sauce. So we're going to add about 3 cups of heavy cream. So I'm just going to put that right in here. Lots of cream. Start off the new year with some calories, right? So, okay. Right around the 3 cups, that's just fine. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. And then for a little bit of flavor, you can add either a little bit of vegetable broth or chicken broth. Okay, so I'm using about 2 tablespoons of chicken broth. Throw these right over here. Go ahead, Chris. A little salt and pepper as well. Sorry.
Elisa said, so happy to be here and enjoy your great recipes and presentation.
Thank you, Elise. Thank you so much. Let's add in a little bit of fresh ground black pepper. And then we are going to add in just a little bit of kosher salt. So we have in the cream, the butter, the chicken broth, kosher salt, and black pepper. Now we want to add in some fresh grated Parmesan Reggiano cheese. Okay, that is some of the best cheese that you can buy. And I am just going to shave this right in here. You want to have about a half a cup grated right in here. So fresh is best. And then if you can see the rind on here, this rind here, you want to use that into some soup, whether you're making some minestrone. I have been doing in person some lasagna soups. So probably the next library I go to, I can just drop this this rind right in there, and that cheese flavor is going to come right off and just flavor it so good. Put it in some tomato sauce. There's so many different ways to use it up. Again, I want about a half a cup. I want this to simmer, and then I'm going to add the ravioli and just let that kind of cook and reduce down. Go ahead, Chris.
Let's see. Tony X, can we low-calorie it with something other than heavy cream, like regular milk or evaporated milk?
You certainly can do that. It will not give it that good richness that you would like from, like, say, a restaurant or something really fancy. But you could absolutely do that. Reduce it down well so it does coat the ravioli or whatever type of pasta you may be using. Now, you don't have to use ravioli. It could be tortellini. It could be rigatoni, whatever you like. Go ahead, Chris.
Aunt Prudy said, hello, Chef Rob and Chris. Hello.
Hello, Aunt Prudy. How are you? So I am just mixing this, and now I'm just going to add in the ravioli, and we're going to let that reduce down and get nice and thick.
Sid said, looks tasty. Hello from cold Chicagoland.
Cold Chicago. Sid, how cold is it? We had, today's not so bad. Today's about 25 out here, I think, 28 in that area. It was pretty cold the other day. So I have these raviolis here. It is 2 12-ounce packages. So I'm going to add them in a minute to this sauce. I'm putting this on pretty high so it reduces down quickly. And then we also have the artichokes. So the artichokes are from a can. You just need 1 14-ounce can. I'm just going to chop these up. Go ahead, Chris.
Rena X, what about using light cream or half and half? Yay or nay?
You know, that's the next step down from heavy cream. I would actually rather see you use less sauce, less cream, and just cut the calories that way. So use the heavy cream, but just make less sauce, so it's not really soupy or kind of saucy there. I'm just going to cut up these artichoke hearts.
Kerry said, hello from Hazlet. Sid said, with wind chill around 9 degrees right now.
Oh, Sid, I'm sorry.
And then the Irving Public Library said, this looks so delicious.
Hi, Jean. How are you? At least I think it's Jean. So, thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all your nice comments. So, I am just going to leave these artichokes right here. And now, you can see that I have some spinach right here. Believe it or not, it's a 12-ounce bag right here, okay? And when you defrost this, you want to get all of the water out, okay? So spinach just keeps on giving and giving the water, okay? So I'm just going to make sure I get as much of this out, and then I'm actually just going to have it ready with the artichokes right in here. While it is cooking and reducing, we're going to make our breadcrumb topping for this. It's really, really good. So I'll leave this to the side.
Janice asks, could you use frozen ravioli?
Frozen, absolutely. Yes, that would be fine. Absolutely. Okay, let that reduce down for a little bit. I'm going to start with the Cuisinart, and I'm going to put in about 2 good quality ciabatta rolls. Okay, cut them up. Good, Chris.
Carol said, looking forward to seeing you again in the Center Merchants Library.
Thank you, Carol. The Center Merchants Library. I was there the other day, and we had a good time. Lasagna soup, right?
Michelle asks, could you use fresh spinach instead of frozen?
Absolutely, yes. And maybe saute it up a little bit, or drop it in a little boiling water, and just get all that water out.
And Rena asks, what's inside the ravioli you're using?
It is cheese, just a ricotta filling. So I am just taking these ciabatta rolls. Okay, this is on the side where I'm just making the crumb topping. This way, this is all ready to go when this sauce and ravioli is all done. Go ahead.
Nancy said, yesterday's lasagna soup was luscious.
Thank you, Nancy.
Margaret asks, what can you use instead of ciabatta rolls?
Instead of ciabatta rolls, any good type of crusty bread. If you don't, another suggestion is you could always take a little bit of panko. Use the panko as a crumb topping on there. Okay, that would work as well. So if you look in here, we got the ciabatta bread. Just going to drop 1 to 2 cloves of fresh garlic in here. A little pinch of kosher salt. And I'm going to put in about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And I'm just going to pulse this. Have any questions, Chris?
Sid said, actually, I feel blessed. My friends in Canada have been at negative 41.
Oh, poor Canada. Oh, yes, you are blessed, Sid.
And then Susan asks, do you have a YouTube video of your lasagna soup?
I don't have a YouTube video of it, but Susan, please, come see me. I'll tell you something. Email me and I'll tell you the different libraries I have. I have about 4 or 5 different ones still coming up this month. So I am just pulsing this until it is nice, coarse crumbs. Okay, let me open this up, show everybody what it looks like. That is exactly the way I want it. If you want it to be a little bit smaller, you could do it that way as well. While we answer some comments and questions, I'm going to add the ravioli in here because I see it's starting to reduce down.
Gail X, can you cook the fresh spinach right in the sauce?
In the sauce, it's going to give water off. So if you could saute it on the side, just put it in a colander, get anything out. It's not going to water down the sauce, especially for any of those folks out there that are not using heavy cream, that are trying to go a little bit lighter. So I am just going to add these in here. Going to reduce this down just a little bit.
And Emily just said, I was just going to ask if I could use panko. You just answered it.
Emily, I think we think alike.
Then T. Ray said, thanks from the Atlantic Highlands Cooking Club.
Thank you for watching. And where are you located in?
And Gail said, thanks.
You are welcome. So we're putting these raviolis in here. Just let that reduce down a little bit. I will then put in the spinach and the artichokes. And just kind of give that a little twist around. And everybody, our next food festival will be on February 26th at 3 o'clock. It is a movie-themed one. And that is where you are to go to the library, take out some movies, make some of these different dishes with me. And when we are done, you pop the movies in and you sit down and enjoy all the different snacks we are going to make.
Rena said, this sauce would be delicious with any pasta. Yum. And Kerry X, where can we get the recipe?
Kerry, either whatever library you are watching this from, if you're not watching from any library and just my Facebook page, you can always get it on my Facebook page too. Okay? But check out all the different libraries that are out there. They would love for you to go to their page and get the recipes and follow them all the time because there's so many different virtual programs at the libraries and a lot of different in person at many of the libraries now.
And I just reshared the recipes on our Facebook page about an hour or two ago, so it should be on there.
Now we have started doing some of the classes, the cooking classes in the libraries, and things have gone just wonderful. Couldn't ask for it to have gone better. So I am going to add in here the artichokes and the spinach. Again, just going to let this reduce down. Just kind of mix this all in really, really well. Okay, let's get that spinach and artichoke all mixed in here. You're going to really enjoy the bread that goes with this dish, which is coming up next. So if you're making it with me, let me know. And if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to help you. See how it is getting thicker coating on here? Remember, this is going to get baked. It's going to reduce down even more. So you do want it to be a little bit loose because as it bakes, it will get a little thicker too. So I am just going to get just a little bit of mozzarella cheese and grate that because we're going to need it for the top. Go ahead, Chris.
Joanna X, will you ever be at the Roger Memorial Library or the John Germain Memorial Library in the future?
I have done certain things for the adults and the teens and the children at the library. Just check with the library. I know the John Germain Library just had some different people come in there, different program people that would hire me. So just check with them. I know the children's department had just contacted me the other day. So.
And Krista X, was that Parmesan that was added?
Yes, it was Parmesan Reggiano cheese. Any Parmesan, anything like that would be perfect for this.
And Kerry X, do you ever do this in person instead of online?
I do it in person a lot. I probably do this about 5 times a week in person, maybe about 3 times virtually. There's times where I do this 12 times a week in person. So yes, check out, are you on Long Island? Let me ask you where you are, which library you are from, or which area. And I could always tell you where you could go to see something like this. See how nice and thick and coated this is getting? So what I am going to do is just take about a half of a block of mozzarella cheese and just start grating this down. I have 2 casserole dishes just like this.
Oh, she said Hazlet, New Jersey.
Hazlet, New Jersey. I'm a little far from you, I'm sorry, but maybe someday. We've had talks of doing something like that. I'm going to give this a quick spray. That way it just does not stick. Okay.
Yeah, in Monmouth County.
Monmouth County. What a wonderful library. You guys are so fortunate. You have many people there that just treat me so nice at that library. Okay, so I am just going to take this sauce, the ravioli, and I'm going to equally spoon it, each casserole dish. These are 2 9-inch casserole dishes. So in March in the libraries, we will be doing some Irish soda bread muffins. We also do an Irish raisin molasses bread. And we have YouTube videos coming out too. And we always, each month we have 4 different ones that come out. We're actually filming right now for summer. And tomorrow we are doing funnel cakes. We were going to do that last week, but we did a swordfish last week. We did a citrus pesto swordfish. So check that out towards the summertime. But go to all these different libraries that are on today and just check out all the different programs that they offer, because there is so much virtually and in-house. So we are equally dividing this. This is going to go into a 375 oven for about 25 minutes. So when we are done with the bread, this should be just ready to go.
Joan said, "You are a Facebook star. Your ravioli with spinach looks so good. I'm hungry now."
Hi, Joan. How are you? And it must be Joan from the Monmouth County Library. You guys are so wonderful.
And then, let's see. Neil said, "My Facebook is having issues today. We'll rewatch. Just wanted to say hi, Robin, Chris. Glad you're well."
Neil, how are you?
Hello.
I hope all is good.
And then Rena said, "One day I hope you teach us how to make Italian wedding soup."
Italian wedding soup. You know, we could do that. Maybe Italian Heritage Month. Maybe we could always put that on for our food festival next November, maybe. Remind me, okay? I could do that for you. So let's just take this nice crusty bread right here, and I'm just going to equally spread this on top. Remember, it has the garlic, the olive oil, kosher salt, black pepper. And this is going to get really nice and bubbly and just really good. Again, you can use rigatoni, tortellini, any type of pasta would be really good with this.
Rena asks, "Could we prep this the night before or the morning of and then bake later?"
Absolutely. It would work just perfectly.
Let's see. Tony X, "Do you post on your Facebook the dates of all programs on Long Island libraries?"
I haven't, but I could possibly start maybe doing that, because not every library's full, and some of the libraries would really love for you to be in the building and come to one of the classes, so that may be something I could do.
But virtually you do post.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's see. Joanna X, "Why 2 casserole dishes? Can I make it in one?"
Absolutely. I did it in 2 9-inch ones because I think this, depending on how many people you have for dinner, is just perfect. And then the other one is just ready to kind of leave in the refrigerator for maybe tomorrow, a day after, or even freeze it. Freeze is great. See how this has that nice golden topping on here? Okay. I'm just going to grate some mozzarella cheese, sprinkle it right on top, and then we're going to put this in the oven, and it goes in 375 for 25 minutes. Go ahead, Chris.
Joan X, "Do you do air fryer recipes?"
I did an air fryer class. Yes, and as I'm grating this mozzarella cheese, I will tell you what I did. I did a buttermilk fried chicken. I did homemade French fries, and then I did fried pickles with like a Louisiana spicy dip for it. So that was what I did, and I just went over all about the air fryers and all that. I believe anytime I did it, it was on Zoom, so I don't think it is out there. But we can always maybe work into some air frying at some other point too.
Emily X, "Do you have to bake it, or can you just eat it after the sauce is reduced?"
You certainly could do that. I wouldn't put the crumb topping on then. I would just reduce it with the spinach and the artichoke. But absolutely, because it's going to come off like as if it's an Alfredo type sauce, so that would be fine. I'm just going to take a little bit of the mozzarella cheese. It's just about a half pound, so you want a sprinkling. You still want those crumbs to come out because you want them to be nice and golden.
Anna said, looks yummy. And then Joanna said, freeze one sure sounds great. Thank you.
Absolutely. When you're in the mess, why not do that, right? So I am just going to pop these into the oven, and you will get to see how they look in just a little bit.
Sid said I was at the Zoom. Great class. Love my air fryer.
Ah, you do.
And Susan said, can't wait to make this dish for Sunday's dinner.
So glad to bring a lot of different dinners to a lot of folks out there. That's really, really great. It's what this is all about. It's for us to get through these tough times that we're going through and have a really nice, enjoyable day. So it has been a pleasure doing this. It really has. Go ahead, Chris.
Anna said, just joined. I'll watch it later.
Sure. Anna, we just finished the ravioli dish. If you want me to redo it, I'll do it over, and then everybody can they just can watch again. No, yeah, just watch it at the end. We're going to go on to the bread now, so hang in there, watch the bread recipe.
And then Aunt Prudy said, so yummy.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, this one here is a provolone and sun-dried tomato basil bread. It is very moist, has a lot of fresh flavors going through there. Going to use some fresh basil, some sun-dried tomatoes. The first thing you want to do, either butter or just give this 9x5 loaf pan just a quick spray. Not much, just a light spray. You don't want a puddle in there. You don't want to taste this. I'm going to leave this right to the side.
Anna said, can't wait until you are live.
Thank you.
And then Carrie said, sounds good.
Great. Yeah, I have the lasagna soup on Long Island about 5 more times till the end of January, just so you know, okay? And always just kind of go to the different libraries and just check out who has it as well.
Joy X, will this recording be rebroadcast? I missed a little.
We're going to keep it up. So check out all the libraries out there. Whatever library you're from, go to that library. Watch it there, okay? It will be on my Facebook page, but check out the libraries. So let me get the dry ingredients. I'm just going to put it into a large bowl. So I want 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And you don't want to pack it in. You just want it to be kind of light but nice and smooth, just like that. Move this over. And I want 2 full cups of the flour. Let me just go right along the rim here. Okay, put this over here, out of the way. And then we are going to add in 1 teaspoon of baking powder. The baking powder is what's going to give it that nice rise. Go ahead, Chris.
Gail said, even unbaked, this looks delicious. Now, however, I have a problem. Do I make this dish this weekend? Or do I make last night's fettuccine cheese and prosciutto stuffed chicken marsala? Or will they work together?
Depends. Well, oh, so you want to know which the bread would go better with this one or last night's? Boy, it's you know what? You were gonna make the Asiago cheese bread I made last night with the stuffed chicken marsala, and you make this bread with the ravioli. How's that? We got a deal? And then 1 teaspoon of baking soda. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Just put that all in there with all the dry ingredients. 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar, and you need this for the texture and the moisture. Okay, so make sure you have that. And then 1 teaspoon of the granulated table salt.
Rena said, I forgot to watch last night. Is that chicken recipe on your Facebook page?
I know I have done that on Facebook Live, but it goes way, way back, okay? Last night was a Zoom one, and they didn't record it, so yeah. So I don't have. Not sure of what libraries would have it. Everybody, just take a wire whisk, mix this all together really, really well, and then you want to use a 1/4 cup of either chopped fresh basil or fresh parsley. So I am going to use some fresh basil. I have some beautiful basil. It's nice to get some beautiful basil in January, right? And how many times does that happen? So this is really good. So going to I'm going to chop up this basil and add it into the dry ingredients. I'm going to let everybody know what we are making on February 26th at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's for you, Sid, out there. And we are going to make a shrimp scampi flatbread. We are also doing pizza nachos, and they're really delicious. And we are also going to do a cinnamon hot chocolate with a chocolate marshmallow stirrers. So the recipes will, all the libraries have them already, any of the ones that are doing it with me, and we will put it on our Facebook page about a week right before the event too.
Susan said, can you use dried basil? I couldn't find any fresh.
Yeah, you know, Susan, I had trouble for about a week trying to find the fresh, and that I finally came up with a store. So yeah, that or even the Italian seasoning, okay, you can add that as well too, but not as much, of course. Maybe just use about 1.5 teaspoons. I am just going to chop this up really well. And now I'm just going to drop this into the dry ingredients here. Okay. Now you can take out a food processor. I already used one, so why would you want to clean another? So I'm going to show you an easier way to do this. You could just you want very cold butter. I have 5 tablespoons of very cold butter here, and I'm just going to kind of grate this and put it in here and make kind of coarse crumbs. What do you have, Chris?
Elisa said, while it is wonderful to attend your programs in person, especially to taste your delicious creations, I'm so grateful that you continue to offer your online programs now that I moved to Michigan and cannot attend in person. I love that I could still attend virtually.
We still stay connected, right? I'm so glad that you're still here. Elise, I believe you're from Huntington, right? That was your original library. I am just grating this. It's 5 tablespoons of very cold, unsalted butter, okay? You want this to be very cold. And the reason is it's going to be able to let you make the coarse crumbs, okay?
I really smell that basil.
Make sure that it's good basil for this time of the year. So get everything off of this grater here. And now we're just going to kind of go in here and just make some coarse crumbs, okay?
Deanne said, I'm from Framingham, Massachusetts, and I watch.
Hi, Dee, and I think you watched last night, if I remember, when we were at the Sloatsburg Library, right? So glad. Met so many people virtually and, of course, in person, which is really wonderful. So if you can see, instead of getting out the food processor, which is totally fine to do, but if you grate this, look how quick it really all kind of comes together, okay? So you just want to leave that to the side. And then you want to take 2 eggs, 2 of the eggs, and just crack that right in here.
Deanne said, yes, I watched. And Kerry X, is your book of recipes at the libraries?
A few libraries have my cookbook, but if you go on my Facebook page, you'd be able to see where it is, okay, and how to get it, okay? So we have 2 eggs in here. I am going to put in 1 full cup of buttermilk. Now, the one thing I like to always go over about the buttermilk, and I know before you know it, we're going to be into Irish soda bread season. Go buy the buttermilk, okay? Don't make your own. I know people say you can make it and it comes out good. It is buttermilk that way, but it doesn't have that. Look at this. See that real richness? It's so nice and thick. And when you make Irish soda bread or even this bread, it really does matter. When you have leftover buttermilk, make buttermilk chicken, make dressings. There's so many. Make 2 of these breads, and you will love it. Go ahead, Chris.
Elisa said, my library was a fantastic Port Jefferson Free Library. I also went to the North Shore Public Library sometimes. Both great libraries.
You're right. Yep, very, very good.
And then Anna said, don't forget Lucy and Ethel from Port Jeff.
Lucy and Ethel, hello. How are you? So we have our dry ingredients right here. Okay. And I am now going to take some fresh grated provolone cheese. You can use sharp, you can use mild, whatever you like. I want to add in about 1.5 cups, and I'm just going to grate it right in with the dry ingredients. And I'm using the sharp. So buy it in the chunk. Don't buy it pre-grated, because anything that is pre-grated, not much flavor to it. This probably will actually work out cheaper because you're doing it yourself. Anything that's pre-done for you, you are going to pay a premium for that. And nowadays, we don't want to pay a premium for anything because we're paying a premium on everything.
Emily said, I love buttermilk pancakes when I have leftovers.
Absolutely. Perfect. Good reason to use the real buttermilk. So everybody, the provolone is in here. Now I want to take about 1/3 cup of sun-dried tomatoes. These are the ones that are packed in oil. Okay, so I'm just going to take these and give them a rough chop. This goes into a 350 oven, and this will take about 50 minutes. Use the old toothpick to check it out and see how it comes out. Okay, but this meal altogether designed to go together for you to make for your families some night. Or even tonight if you have all the ingredients. Okay, so about 1/3 cup. I am a big fan of sun-dried tomatoes. Now, if anybody out there ever wanted to make their own sun-dried tomatoes, you could. But I always say this. Why would you want to? Because you take plum tomatoes, a little bit of olive oil, kosher salt, put them in an oven, 200 degrees for about 10 to 12 hours. Why not just go buy a jar of them when the company did it for you? Could you imagine the oven on that long and it just dries it out? You could use like one of those dehydrators if you have one of those. That would be an exception, I would say, to use.
And if I did that, I'd probably end up overcooking it. I just forget about it.
You would, wouldn't you? Well, everybody has timers now, right, on their phones and everything. So I'm just taking the sun-dried tomatoes, the provolone, the basil, dried ingredients, just give them a toss. And now I'm just going to slowly add in the eggs and the buttermilk mixture to this. Okay. And we're just going to get it to where it is incorporated. Okay. So just kind of lightly fold this in here. And as soon as you see no flour, you are done. And then we put this in our 9x5 pan, loaf pan. Now I want to give everybody some options. Not everybody is a sun-dried tomato fan. You could change this around with a sharp cheddar cheese. You can add bacon to this. You know, maybe already cooked bacon that's already crisp. Kalamata olives. That would be really good in here. So you can change this around. Just be careful any moisture that you're adding to it. So if you were trying to add any vegetables to that, you got to be really cautious. So see how there's a little bit of flour here? We still want to get this combined. It is a nice thick batter. Now, if you wanted to take this and make this like into scones or something like that, the batter's a little bit loose. So I would say you would almost do almost like a little drop biscuit type of thing. Okay, and of course then you'd have to reduce that timing down. Asiago cheese would be really good in here. Mozzarella cheese. But stick with the amounts that are on the recipe. When you start changing it around, the whole texture and everything is going to come out really, really different. So I'm just going to put this into this sprayed pan here.
That smells good.
Can you stay for dinner, Chris?
I'll think about it. Yeah.
So I'm just going to take this very thick, sticky batter here. See, I love Kalamata olives, so I would take Kalamata olives and the sun-dried tomatoes and mix this together, and life would be good. But Kalamata olives is not for everybody. I know that.
Addie said, "Sorry I got here late. Love to see Chef Rob."
Did you have trouble parking or? No, thank you. And just rewatch the beginning later on. Okay, we just finished doing the sun-dried tomato and provolone basil bread. And you want this to be spread out really evenly. You want to cook this towards, maybe bring the lowest rack up one notch. Maybe put a sheet of aluminum foil in the rack above, just so it doesn't get too dark, too crusty. Pretty soon our ravioli will be all done. Getting all this extra batter off here. And now this can go right in the oven just like this, or you could just take just a little bit, a couple grinds of freshly ground black pepper, just a couple, and then you can always just give it a little bit of cheese baked right on top here.
Anna said, "Real comedian chef."
You gotta have fun, right? You gotta have fun. Here you are. Okay, so this is gonna go into the oven and it will be in there for about 50 minutes. Then you want it to cool on a wire rack for about 10 minutes, okay? And then it's ready to enjoy. I don't find that you even have to put butter on it. I think there's enough flavor, everything going through it, but some people just say butter needs, the bread needs the butter. So I will pop this, actually I'm gonna leave it on the stove and I'm gonna check the ravioli before we do our dessert. So I could see the ravioli still has just a little bit of time. So I am just going to show everybody.
Quickest oven ever.
Yeah. 50 minutes just flew right by. This is what the bread looks like. I just want you to kind of see the texture. Nice and soft, but has a nice crust. And I did put the cheese on this one as well. I'm just going to go like that. Like that. You see that way? Put it right on here. And now let's just slice this open. Show everybody what the inside looks like. See how it's fully loaded there. Every bite just has something in it. So I hope you will make this.
Sid said, "I made Maine lobster ravioli a few weeks ago. Came out great." And Cindy said, "Looks delicious."
Thank you so much. Thank you. So I am going to leave this to the side. We will look at that again before we go later on. We have nowhere to go now. It's cold everywhere, isn't it? Right?
Rebecca said, "I love your recipes and demonstrations. It encourages me to use food items that I never used in cooking."
Wonderful. That's great. That's wonderful.
Let's see. T-Ray X, is there a link to the ravioli recipe? We posted the recipes on our Facebook page. Carol said I could smell it from here. And it's Adrian Weber and said, "It looks delicious. Can't wait to try it."
Hello, Adrian. Cutchogue, New York. How are you?
And Sid said, "Dinner is at Chef Rob's house tonight."
Chris, you see the cars out there now?
Yeah.
It's crazy out there.
Oh, yeah.
My other son, Robert's out there directing traffic. You guys, calm it down. Don't tell anybody, please. Okay, let's go over to a dessert that I used to make in the restaurant. I used to make when I was a personal chef, and I have made it in the libraries. And now, a virtual one of this. It's very simple. It's really good, though. Go ahead, Chris.
Emily said, "I am definitely making this bread."
That is great. Emily, I think I've made this dessert for you once. I'm sure I have. So we want to take some apricot preserves. Now, if you look on the recipe, you're going to see it's for 12 slices. I don't want to make 12 slices, so I'm just going to make a couple so you get the idea how to do it. But if you want to make the 12 slices, follow the recipe how it is. If you want to cut the recipe in half, because you don't have that many people, you cut it in half. okay? When I created this recipe, it was with the restaurant in mind, okay? So I'm just taking some apricot preserves.
You should definitely make all 12. I'll take care of all the food.
No. Some apricot preserves. Leave that to the side here. Now, this is where you have a choice, okay? You can add almond extract. Chris is shaking his head, no. Or you can add in some amaretto, okay? Yeah, this thing is about $14. This thing is about $38. It's crazy. So when you open this up and you smell it, it has such a beautiful smell. And this one, just as beautiful, maybe even a little bit better. So this would be, with 3/4 of a cup, it would be 3 tablespoons. So I am, again, just making a little bit. So just a splash I'm having here.
Carol X, where can I find recipes on your Facebook page? We posted them, or we reshared them on our page about an hour or two ago, so you'll be able to find them right on there. Just scroll down a little bit.
I am just adding a little bit more of the apricot preserves. So now you just want to kind of take this, just kind of mash it all together. You could take a whisk. Now, one of the things when I go to the libraries now and do this, sometimes it's very cold and it kind of doesn't loosen up very quickly. So you could bring it or do a little burner and just kind of warm it up, and it would be really perfect. But this is nice and loose how this is here. So let me turn on this. Let me go over this right here. This here is my Cuisinart Griddler Deluxe. It's a panini grill. It will grill salmon, fish, steaks, vegetables. It is so good. It's really good. It is about $100 for something like this. What is really good is you just go like this, and these pop out, and you can pop it right into the dishwasher. And then if you want to cook like a hamburger right on here, pancakes, you do it that way. Just turn it right over. So it fits right in here, just like this. So it makes it easy to clean.
Rena X, does amaretto extract exist?
Amaretto extract? No, but the almond extract does. So that's what you would alternate it. And if you're using the almond extract, you're going to use less, okay? Just put a little bit in and taste it, okay? So I am going to turn this on. This gets very, very hot. I am using a restaurant quality pound cake. It's a marbled pound cake. Plain is fine as well. So I am going to set up 2 of these here. And then after this, I'm actually going to show you another quick dessert that I did years ago in the libraries that people just absolutely love. Go ahead, Chris.
Addie said it looks like a George Foreman.
George Foreman. No, it's not, though. I promise. George Foreman has that slant, okay, but it's on that same idea. So, yeah. This is really good, though. So this here is some mascarpone. It's Italian cream cheese. Okay. Now, I bought this the other day, and the date, you can see, look when it lasts till, okay? August of 22. But it only lasts to August of 22 if you don't keep it on the dining room table and do what I'm doing now. Pop it open.
You have a week left now.
Now, yeah, about a week. Chris has been doing these classes with me, so he's been paying attention. I can tell. So I got the mascarpone right here. I have the apricot preserves. I have some toasted almonds right here. Okay, and the almonds you could put in the oven or put them in a little pan and just toss them, and it will bring out that nut flavor. Okay, Chris, while this is still heating up, I am just going to go over and check on that ravioli, because it is about time.
Cindy said you're funny.
So everybody, here is the ravioli. Now, if you wanted this a little bit more crisp and a little more golden, that's where you would leave the crumb topping on top, and you could even take the crumbs and the cheese and kind of mix it together as well. But you could finish this off with the broiler as well. But I wanted you to see what that looks like. And then we can always go back to this bread. This is the provolone sun-dried tomato basil bread. And now I am just going to take, I'm going to use one of these for right now. And I'm just dropping this right on here. I'm just going to get some grill marks on it. And what I really want to do is just warm it up, okay? So after I warm it up, I could put this into the oven too. I could put it into a toaster oven, put it on a little cookie sheet with a little parchment paper. You just want the pound cake warm. That's really it. This makes for a really nice, fancy, but quick dessert.
Adrian said that you're always happy. And Emily said, I remember you did make it at my library. It was so good that I made it one day, but yours was better.
No, yours was just as good, Emily. I know it. You are a very, very good cook. I know it. Okay, so this doesn't take long on here. Just want it to be warm. Just another second. Turn that up just a little. And then we're going to use something with Nutella, okay? Everybody loves that, right?
The Cutchog Library said the bubbling looks so good.
It just kind of sells itself, right? Dawn, how are you?
Fran said, I was late for the spinach avocado bread, but I already printed the recipe.
Okay, Fran, you could stay after class and we'll do it for you again. It's fine. So, this is nice and warm.
The Irving Library said, why didn't I buy all the ingredients? I'm making this next weekend, but my mouth is watering now.
Good. Thank you for joining us. So everybody take some of this mascarpone and just spread this right on the pound cake. Get a good quality bakery type pound cake, okay? These pound cakes are the ones that you would actually see in the, almost like a deli that have in the individual wrappers. They are really, really good. They hold up really well on a grill. But also, if you're just putting it into the oven too, these are the ones you want, okay? So I'm just going to leave this to the side. And now you just take some of this apricot and amaretto and just put that right like this here. And then we're just going to finish this off with a little bit of toasted almonds right on top. Just kind of evenly do it. Now when I go to the libraries, I usually give everybody like a half of this because it's pretty hearty. So I just cut it in half, just like that.
Beverly said, so glad I was able to see Chef Rob today. It made my day.
Beverly, where have you been? Has it been a year? Every day we would see each other. I hope you're well, Beverly.
Adrian,
and now just take this and just kind of lean it right over this one right here, and you have a really great dessert. It's so simple, so quick, but makes it really good. Now, a lot of times at the holidays, what I would do is I cut these into little, like almost like little blocks, and just put them out because everybody wants a cookie. They want a little bite of this, so they always want to change it up. Go ahead, Chris.
Adrian said she remembers when you made a pound cake. Let's see. Gail said cream cheese and jelly sandwich at its most elegant. And T-Ray said or asked, is the ravioli a secret tip of the hat to Aaron Rodgers and the Cheeseheads in Green Bay?
Go Green Bay, huh? I think they're going to win.
And Trisha said that looks so delicious.
Thank you so much. Let me do another quick little dessert for everybody. Let me start with the strawberries. I was so surprised when I was able to find nice strawberries again here in January, but these are very good.
You haven't done this in so long.
So long. This was one of my, original dishes. Probably maybe my first or second year in the libraries. So I am just cutting these on the thinner side, just like that. Okay.
Never mind, you're not doing what I thought.
There's no recipe for this, so everybody just write it down. It's that quick. Okay. Oh, I'm doing something different than you thought?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you were going to do the stuffed strawberry with Nutella.
Oh, okay. No, you could do that one next month.
I'll just make it tonight. No. Let's see. Yeah, Trisha said that looks so delicious. Country Library X, can you toast the bread first or no?
Now, for this recipe here, you mean? Is that what you mean?
For the pound cake.
Because the other one I toasted already. So if you were asking about this one, no. Let me show you why. Because I haven't finished the recipe, so I really want to show you. So I'm also going to take a little bit of sugar. Here's the sugar.
Almost putting salt.
Yes, and yeah, I want to be careful. So just a little sprinkling of sugar. What happens is they macerate and they just kind of give up their juices. So I'm just going to take this and just give it a little toss. Just
Yeah, they
like
said
this.
the pound cake.
The pound cake, absolutely. So
Let's see.
just watch how I do it, and you are going to see the way you're going to want to do it. I promise.
Beverly X, do you know when you'll be out of the Suffern Library again?
I do know the Suffern Library is doing some of these virtual classes again. I have been in touch with them. We do have some things planned, so please just give them a call.
And let's see. Mary said, "This is my first class with you. Thank you for such great inspiration."
Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much.
And Cindy said, "BJ's has beautiful strawberries."
BJ's, huh? Okay, that's great to know. Usually we're getting into late February, March before we get the ones from California that are good. But maybe they're trying to give us a little treat this year. We need a little treat. Now this is some Nutella right here. So just take a little bit of Nutella and just kind of smear it on here. You don't need a whole lot. And then if you like almonds, you can put some of the toasted almonds on as well. Just like that. Now we're going to want this chocolate to melt just a little bit. So I'm going to show you what to do. Now, you can take bananas with the strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, whatever fruit you really like. And just kind of, don't overload it, but just make sure every bite gets some of the berries, okay, or banana, whatever you're going to put on it.
Let's see. Marion said, "Sam's Club also has nice strawberries." And Anna said, "Guess I'll just rub this on my hips."
I love that. So now, look at this. Pound cake, Nutella, toasted almonds, strawberries. Now, this I called, when I did this for everybody, a chocolate pound cake panini. So we're going to take this, put it on the panini grill, just like that. Okay. And we're just going to let it, just for about a minute or two. I'm going to get a little spatula just to get it off here. The house is smelling good. Is it, Chris? Now, what are you smelling out of everything here?
Everything? I don't know.
Everything, okay. And before we go in a minute, I'm going to give everybody our next food festival dates and times, okay?
Beverly said, "This I call heavenly."
Heavenly. So if you could see, this is nice and toasted. See how that is? Okay, with the grill marks in there. The Nutella is so warm. And as Beverly said, heavenly.
And Cindy said, "I'll be there in a minute. Looks so yummy."
Do you live around the corner from me, Cindy, or are you just going to drive that fast? So everybody, just take this here. The way I like to serve this is I kind of tease everybody at the libraries. I say, okay, everybody gets one of these. And they look at me like, no, I can't eat all that. So cut this into little pieces because, as you know, it is pretty heavy. This would be great for movie night, right?
Gail asked, how would peaches go with the Nutella?
Peaches? I think it's fine. That's right. Gail likes her peaches. And then just put a couple of these. Look at that. Put it on a plate just like this. Just stack them around. Just going to put a few of them here. And in a nice restaurant, you're probably paying about $16 for this plate right here. And that's not even giving you these three.
Emily said, everything looks so delish.
Thank you, Emily. And then take a little bit of powdered sugar, just like that. And I am turning this off here. So this is our pound cake panini with strawberries, Nutella, toasted almonds. This is our warmed marbled pound cake with an apricot mascarpone with a little bit of amaretto in there. And then our provolone and sun-dried tomato basil bread. See, right inside there. And then right here is our baked ravioli with spinach and artichokes. And the backup one is just resting in the oven. So let me give everybody the remaining dates of our food festivals that we have planned for right now. Okay, and then Chris says we have some questions. So February 26th, 3 o'clock. And gave you that menu earlier. March 19th, and that day we will be doing an avocado and chickpea salad. See, I'm going healthy because I can't give you this every single time, right? I got to kind of balance it, you know, otherwise, like you said, right to the hips. And then that day we're also doing spring green onion and sour cream biscuits, and then a asparagus and mozzarella capellini pancake. Make that with me, please. Just mash all that in there. And then April 9th at 3 o'clock, that will be a grilled salmon taco. Love salmon. Salmon, just love it. So I think I'm the only one in the family, so I will have
Like smoked salmon.
You like smoke? We both like smoked salmon. And then a chicken piccata meatball. And you're going to love those. If you like chicken piccata, just picture that sauce with chicken meatballs. You will love it. And then a spring lemon cake with a crumb topping and a lemon glaze. And then in May, it is at May 25th at 6:30 Eastern Time, guacamole and tricolored tomato salad. And then we're doing Baltimore lump crab meat. Did you see the price of crab meat? A pound container, $35. And that's not even at the fish store. The fish store has probably got to be $50 to $60 a pound. Wow. So hopefully that comes down before our class. Otherwise, I may have to pay Chris a little less, okay? No, I won't. And then we have a spring brunch on Zoom, and that is at 1 o'clock on April 30th. And that is a mascarpone strawberry French toast, and it's stuffed inside. It's really delicious, with blueberry scones and a sweet orange drizzle. Next Saturday, if you go to my Facebook page now, there are many libraries out there, and I have them listed on my page that are doing my Brooklyn-style twisted soft pretzel class. It is 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock next week. Check out the libraries on there, call them, and if they have room, I'm sure they'd be more than willing to send you the link and get the recipes and make it along with us. Okay, that is on Zoom though, okay? And if you don't do Zoom, it's not hard, okay? See, I could say that because Chris does all my Zoom and everything, so it's not hard. I just say, Chris, any final comments or questions or anything before we say goodbye? And everybody stay well during these tough times, and be healthy, be careful, and I hope I'll see everybody back in February. Go ahead, Chris.
We have a bunch of people saying thank you and
My
goodbye.
pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you to all the libraries that participate, and also thank you to all the patrons that watch month after month, and the new ones that just joined today. Thank you. And my Facebook page is Simply Creative Chef Rob. Everybody have a great day, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.